Hi, it's Diane, and I want to show you an Alice in Wonderland junk journal that I made for a swap on Junk Journal Junkies. It was to be a one signature book made with a soft cover, such as a file folder or an envelope, and I used a file folder for mine. I had never made one with a file folder before. I posted pictures of it on the YouTube or on the Facebook group, but I wanted to make a video too. I used silk ribbon just to attach these charms. There's a red rose and this little charm that says dream. And then this is seam binding here. I put this little envelope or bag on the back to cover up where I stitched the ribbon down. And then you untie the ribbon. You can see this. This came from a file folder that I had bought about Alice in Wonderland. There's a stopwatch there, a couple of keys, and some roses that are in the process of being painted red. And a little bit of bling here. This is cut from a book. I cut a lot of the images and text from that book, and they look old. So it's the White Rabbit, and here's a little metal stopwatch there, and it says I'm late. It's got a little coffee dyed tissue paper behind him and some fibers that Susan sent me. There's a stamp that says imagine, dream, and cherish. And there's a quote from the book. I love this quote. Come, there's no use in crying like that, said Alice to herself rather sharply. I advise you to leave off this minute. She generally gave herself very good advice, though she very seldom followed it. I made a pocket with that. It has illustrations from two different books, and these, of course, are the newer. They're not the John Tenniel. This one is John Tenniel. And I stamped a journey definition on the back. This is a scrap of coffee dyed paper that I corner punched and folded up to use for journaling. There's a little tag here and a picture of Lewis Carroll. Here's a little picture I punched out of Alice and used crystal effects to attach her to this paper clip. And there's a tag. Why is a raven like a writing desk? Here's another little tag. Mad Hatter cut from the book, and he's got some of the fibers behind him. Again, it's folded up for journaling. It's a little tiny envelope I've had for years, and it was a sticky back. So I stuck it on here, and then I made this little tiny tag of the Mad Hatter. I had to use my little one-hole paper punch just so I'd be able to get that out, because it was really hard to get it out. Here's a coloring book that I had purchased, a Dover coloring book, and I coffee dyed some of the pages. And here's a little chipboard tag. This is tissue paper that I coffee dyed. I love how crinkly it is, and it's doubled to make it a little sturdier. And a piece of ribbon and a flag with some roses. This is cut from the book. This is cut from the book, and I used a, oh no, this is printed from the internet, and I used a bread tag with a tab on it. This is cut from a magazine. That's from the book and piece of rickrack. This one has double pocket, and it says, I wish you wouldn't keep appearing and vanishing so suddenly. You make one quite giddy. So there's a Cheshire Cat. And one of the little tags, and then this one came from Marion Smith paper. Alice. There's a stamp on a piece of parchment. I wish I could find some of this parchment paper. I've had it for years, and all I have is small pieces left. Here's the lizard. Journaling on the back. And this is a quote, just on an index card that's been coffee dyed. Why, sometimes I've believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. Now, I think a lot of people think that Alice said that, but I just read the books. I got the books for Christmas, and I read it And it's the White Queen that says that. I mean, I had read the books before, but I just reread them, so it's the White Queen that says that, just for your information. Clocks and Keys, stamped. There's a Disney book. There's a stamp that says Imagine. These are cut from a book. It's a little paper bag, and this is a tag from the Marion Smith paper. I made a copy of this page in my book. Just cut it so that I could, this is all one page here, and then stamped here. This is music notation paper. It's a little pocket that I had made with the Cricut. There's a tag with the Cheshire Cat on it. A little red gem, and that came from Susan. This trim came from Susan. Let's take a trip together to someplace far away. I'd say Wonderland is far away. There's a Inspire definition. A rabbit from the Marion Smith paper. The other side of the parchment. And I actually printed on it. I printed this image of, I took this out of my book and made a copy onto the parchment, and I thought it looked really nice. That's why I want to find some more parchment paper. I wish I knew where to find some. This is from the internet, and this is cut from the book. The same image that I copied onto the parchment. Then I put a piece of that fiber on the paper clip. This is cut from the book. Made a pocket, and this is a table of contents from one of the books. This is a doily that's folded to make it sturdier, so it's doubled and then stitched onto the corner there. This is a piece of text from the coloring book that I used. And when I say coloring book, it's not one of those pulp paper coloring books. It's a nice white paper. And I actually bought it before the adult coloring books became so popular, but that's the kind of paper it is. Life is full of great and grand adventures. It's a pretty little paper clip holding this tag on. Make every day extraordinary. And then this is Queen Alice at the end of the Looking Glass book, Through the Looking Glass. And she's got coffee dyed tissue paper behind her and some fibers, and I glued this little metal crown on top of the crown on her head. A library pocket with a Mad Tea Party, and I cut out the words, "There's no room, no room. The shortest way to anywhere is to have good company," and then a library card. And then it's stamped and signed by me, and there it is. I don't know who my swap partner will be yet, but I'll be finding out very soon. Hope you enjoyed looking at it. I enjoyed making it. Bye.